Hello guys, it's JongLi here, and this battle is a request by Numidian of the Immortals of War clan. He wanted to work on his CWB, so I was his practice partner for a little bit. This was our first battle in a very long time, so it was really a pleasure to finally see him again and be able to play against him. It was a Carthage versus Macedon battle, and he told me that it wasn't really his best matchup, so he wanted to improve. And he wanted me to put it up, maybe give him a few pointers on what he could have done better. So let's start off with the armies. I've just brought 2 light lancers. They're gold with 2 chevrons. 6 companion cav gold, and 6 archers, normal archers gold. 2 Cretan archers. I think one of them just has like a bronze attack upgrade. They're not really upgraded that much. And 3 levy pikes, which are I think just gold defense or something. So they're not too heavily upgraded, but yeah. Numidian seems to have brought some slingers. 6 slingers. They're pretty cheap. I think they might just be gold attack or maybe silver bronze or something. He's brought very heavy infantry component. So 6 sacred band. Most of them silver, but the generals gold, and 5 sacred band cav, so they're just gold there as well. So the heavy infantry and the heavy cav explains why his missile component isn't as good. So for this game, I'll pretty much have to skirmish pretty well, because what he should do with this army is rush and really pressure me into making mistakes with my micro. While keeping it pretty compact, just like push my archers back, push my infantry back, and then snipe units off with his cav. These slingers, shouldn't worry too much about them because they're really cheap, and yeah, if you lose 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, I pretty much went for the skirmish game, and I was bringing all my cav to the center because I didn't want him to kind of push one flank and then I didn't want him to mass route one flank and then snowball that. So I kind of consolidated everything in the center and retreated these guys. So when you skirmish, you pretty much just pull everything really far apart and make it difficult for your opponent to snipe units without kind of isolating his own. So early stages of the battle, he goes for this side, so I'm just going to run my archers away, pull 2 cav that way to try and kind of counter these 2 sacred bands. And pull the rest of my units this way. I'm just trying to split him up, but Numid did pretty well in that he didn't split up his infantry, he kept it relatively compact. But yeah, I'm still able to get my light lancers to chase these guys away, try and get a few shots in with these archers as well. And over here, my Macedonian companion cav have engaged these sacred bands, but I actually forgot about them, so I wasn't microing them very well, and Numidian gets a really good charge here off on the backs of them and routes them pretty quick. I've just got these kind of archer units at the back here that he's kind of stopped chasing, so he's just going to go for this part now. Meanwhile, I'm chasing his units here, so I'm microing here, and also I should be microing here, but I'm not because I'm slow. Yeah. So he makes a micro mistake here, gets his sacred band unit engaged on this Macedonian unit, and it routes. I probably didn't see that as well, seeing as it just kind of slipped in there. So yeah, I managed to catch a few of his sacred band cav over here. I'm trying to do the same, but my archers aren't like, I put them out of skirmish mode, hoping I'd be able to catch them, but I kind of missed micro it, and they just run past, and I just wasted an archer unit. And there are all these 3 archers as well, which I should be trying to get back to the safety here, but I'm not microing them properly, as I said before. And Numidian's playing pretty passive here. He's just trying to like sling me out. He should really be pushing here, maybe loose formation these pikes and just push. Because even in loose formation, you can still put the pikes down, and it's wider, harder for me to dodge, stuff like that. So I think that would have been pretty good. But he chooses to kind of just stop here and sling me. So these slingers aren't upgraded too much, but they'll do a bit of damage. These levies are cheap though, so I don't mind all that much. And I'm trying to consolidate my guys here, like he has on this part. These guys I'm trying to retreat, but he's got the Sacred Band Cav just chasing them down, so that was a bit annoying. But I'm managing to kind of get most of these units back that have come back. Yeah. So if they chase your archers, just kind of let them chase it. Because it's just gonna get more tired, and yeah, you can do other stuff while he's chasing that archer unit. And since archers are cheaper than cav, you know, it's an okay trade-off. So we've just, you know, re-squared off over here, and I've got better archers, better missile units than him. So I know I'll win a skirmish if he wants to just go with the archer war. But I've got to be careful as well, because these infantry are his main force, and I have to get rid of them to win, not the slingers. So I've got to save a bunch of arrows for these infantry units as well. This cav is still a bit concerning, so I have to get rid of these guys, and then these guys. That's kind of the priority I've set. So I put a few archers to shoot the cav, and I put most of them to shoot these slingers. And this is kind of just chasing around, stuff like that. I've just got this random archer unit here. Yeah, I'm just gonna triple speed it a bit. So he pushes, which is, I guess, good. But I'm just gonna pull away, so he's not gonna do too much. Tried to get my cav around this flank and maybe go for stuff, like do stuff here. But it didn't look like it would work out since he just pulled back, played conservative. So I think I pull back eventually. And he gets his archer unit as well. I sent this cav over here thinking I could, you know, snipe something while he was rushing me, but that didn't end up happening. So I'm just gonna chase this cav unit, this Sacred Band. And I've pulled my cav out here, but this is a good move here, because all my cav is here. I can't really catch them with my pikes if he micros them properly. So yeah, that was a pretty good move. I do get my pikes to save them in time, so it was alright for me. And my cav is back here, not really doing too much. If I was Numidian, my main concern would probably be the cav, because the cav is my win condition. My cav, and I have to have arrows left for his infantry. So I would have been a bit more concerned with the cav, probably. These infantry units, you can probably just snag up, or even maybe a frontal charge that catches me off guard will rout these, because these are just levy pikes. They're pretty weak to pretty much everything, and unless they're pretty much bad against everything except cav from the front. So these guys aren't that much of an issue, and he doesn't really have to avoid conflict with these guys, because they'll rout pretty quick if he just pushes them a little bit. So I've kind of split my cav off, and this is to give myself more options. So if he pushes, I can go this side and this side, and I can, you know, annoy him from more directions. These archers are still shooting, and as you can see, I'm winning a skirmish fight pretty easily. These guys are dropping really quick. I've got fire arrows on for some reason. I believe I turned them off eventually, but yeah, that was a mistake. There was only like 2 units that were firing fire arrows. The rest are firing normal arrows, so it wasn't too big of an issue. These heavy cav units, pretty valuable for him right now. He needs them to chase down the archers, which I've got plenty of at the moment. This Cretan archer unit is out of ammo, and I believe these guys are almost out of ammo, or maybe it was these guys. But yeah, so I'm starting to run out of ammo now, and that's really good for Numidian, because if I run out of ammo, I can't shoot his infantry. At this point, I thought he would have boxed up, or like made more of a boxish shape, because it's better in this situation. Like when your enemy has a lot of heavy cav and you've only got heavy infantry, boxing up is pretty good. But he could also push, which is pretty valid. He could just loose formation them and push forward with his infantry, and I'd be forced to kind of skirmish again. and yeah, makes it hard for me as well. So he's kind of made this curvy shape to try and protect his slingers, but eventually I stopped kind of caring about the slingers. Or I do care about them, but I don't want to shoot at them with my archers. So at this point I just kind of send my cav and try and get him to make errors so I can pick off stuff. So I sent it at these cav units, but I can't catch them. And yeah, he turns his guys around, so I know that's not really an option. I sent these guys forward. And this kind of gives me an idea because he reacted so quickly to that. Like, if I can get rid of 2 infantry units, or even 1 infantry unit, that's pretty big. Like, depending on the cost. If I can get rid of his infantry, which is his win condition, it's pretty good for me. So I managed to get this charge off on his cav, and I pretty much charge his infantry at the same time. So I knew he would turn back, and I was able to just rout one of his sacred band, but that was really good. That was pretty damaging to him. Pretty good for me. And because he's turned all his infantry's attention towards my cav, I was able to just kind of snipe off 1 or 2 of these slinger units, which is also really good value. So yeah, boxing is really almost his only option now, and I want to kind of force him into that. One mistake I did kind of make was I probably should have been more aggressive while he was in just a line formation. If you're in just a line, it's pretty hard to react to everything coming from all different directions, whereas if you're in a box, you're pretty much prepared for everything, and it's pretty much your last resort. Whereas if you're in a line, you're pretty vulnerable. So I should have been more aggressive here, push my infantry, and probably just gone all in with my cav to try and rout the Sacred Band. It is kind of risky, but because these Sacred Band aren't boxed up, they can't support each other as well, and it's easy to isolate and mass rout them. So that was probably something I could have done better. So yeah, he's pushing now, which is really late. He should have pushed while he still had cav, because if you push while you still have cav, you can pick off units and protect them with the Sacred Band infantry. So yeah, that was kind of meaningless. He should have pushed a lot earlier, like maybe from the start of the game, because if you bring that sort of army, you have to win with the infantry and if you pretty much hope your opponent can't skirmish you out of the game. It's pretty good, but he should have been much more aggressive this game, I think. So right now it's actually still pretty tight for me. I'm still really concerned about these Sacred Band infantry, and again, I really regret not kind of just going all in at this point, because this is the point where Numidian starts boxing up, and boxing up just makes it harder for me. So boxing up was the right move here. I would probably have done it myself. So yeah, I think this is where the box starts, and it's just going to be my archers shooting his guys for a bit. So just triple speed. Tried to catch that cav there, but as you can see, kind of failed and just got some of my cav killed, so that wasn't really good. I've arranged my cav on multiple sides to try and get better angles. So yeah, archers are kind of spread out. I've only got like 3 or 4 archer units left with ammo. A lot of them are out of ammo. I believe these guys are out of ammo, yeah. And it's only these 2 units now that actually have any missiles left. Even this unit's just run out, and there's really just this 1 unit. But you gotta squeeze out all the arrows you can, really, because if you're in this position as Macedon, and you lose to the noob box, or not noob box, this is actually just a proper box, and you lose to the box with arrows left, you kind of regret it afterwards because you wish you could have shot them a bit more before charging. So yeah, I'm just trying to get this guy at the back, shoot the general a little bit. Yeah, and I believe the final charge starts soon. So as you can see, I've just kind of set this guy to fire arrows, trying to demoralize them a little bit. And I'm just going for an all-in charge. I didn't put my archers and levy pikes in because I didn't want a mass rout to occur. So if say my archers like got wrecked in the melee and they started routing, I didn't want my cav to chain route as well as my levy pikes to chain route, and that would have lost me the game. So I decided to just go with the cav, get as many kills as I could, and then try and mop them up with my levy pikes. I probably should have been more careful with my general because that's a morale penalty there. So yeah, that was probably a mistake. Can't really be helped. I should probably have kept one cav unit for hammer and anvils. But at this point I was feeling reasonably confident. My archers are pretty fresh. These guys are still shooting fire arrows. So I'm pretty much engaging them with my light inf now. My levy pikes, this is where they can stand up to Sacred Band, but you know, this is because I outnumber the Sacred Band by so much, and the Sacred Band are like, yeah, pretty depleted. I managed to rout the general, so I knew that the flow was kind of in my favor, and pretty much the rest is just all in with the infantry. So that was a really close game. Also in that situation, you've got to keep an eye on your units, how tired they are. My units were all fresh, so I knew none of them would rout because of exhaustion, which is pretty important if you're going for that kind of move. So well played to Numidian. That was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Clear victory doesn't really. I felt it was more a narrow victory because that last infantry engagement really was kind of a toss-up for me. Those are my kills. As you can see, my Cretan archers. My archers got a lot of kills, so they're kind of MVP for me. My cav did a lot of work though against the enemy cav and enemy units. Got a lot of the expensive stuff down, and the levy pikes, of course. I was able to protect them long enough so that I could use them to finish off the game. But yeah, well played to Numidian. He played really well. I know he's not a CWB player, but if that's the standard he's going in with, I'm sure he'll do really well in the future. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, guys, and see you next time.